Year's, everyone! Welcome to our special end of the year video of our most anticipated MMORPGs for 2013 and beyond. I'm Raina and this is Kirk. Kirk, why don't you start us off?
Pathfinder Online is still in development, but it already sounds like it's got all the right stuff. The setting might be your fairly standard high fantasy world with all the typical trappings you'd expect, but the intriguing part about Pathfinder Online is the trading system, which allows players to create items, consumables, fortifications, settlements, and even player kingdoms. Player-led kingdoms can grow from the ground up, can war against one another and attempt to be the dominant force in the world. More than just a game, it feels like the Pathfinder development team is creating a world.
Blade and Soul might have languished in development hell for several years, but it's still a very promising MMO. With a freestyle, breakneck-paced combat system and gorgeous graphics built on the Unreal 3 engine, NCSoft looks like they know what they're doing. Let's just hope everything holds up when it finally releases.
Here in the Western world, it seems though that many of us have replaced our romanticization of the medieval era with that of ancient Asia. With its beautiful, painstakingly designed set pieces, Age of Wulin certainly scratches that itch. But that's not what makes this martial arts action MMO awesome. First, there's no typical level up system. Your character will progress as you learn skills and seek out martial arts masters. Second, its developers emphasize mobility, something which most MMOs seem to fall short on. Third, they've gone out of their way to create a realistic world. When you log out, your character remains in the game as an NPC, performing a profession of your choice, or just wandering about. Enemy players and factions can actually kidnap your character while they're still in this state, and it's all up to you and your faction to rescue you.
ArcAge, yet another open-ended MMO, the entire idea behind this game is free will. Developed by the same folks who developed Lineage, the game's slated to feature a completely player-run economy, city and housing system, and a world that evolves based on what the players do. One which they hope to make truly organic.
Continuing the trend of awesome-looking sandbox MMOs, the repopulation is completely open-ended. There's no leveling system, and all the gameplay is based on the advancement of any one of 75 different skills. That said, while there is a faction-based PvP, players are by no means forced to join up with one of the factions and fight. They can, if they choose, to explore, craft, develop new technologies, and design and construct their own cities, or even genetically engineer creatures. Players interested in battle can bring vehicles to the fight, and combat can be toggled between action mode, which is like a first-person shooter, and RPG mode, which is the more traditional mode.
While WildStar's art direction might not appeal to everyone, it's not how the game looks that makes it interesting, it's how it's going to play. At character creation, players are going to be able to choose an archetype that literally changes how the game is played. Want to wander around the world building stuff? Become a settler. Feel like doing some research and developing new technology? Scientist is the choice for you. Want to trigger armed assaults on enemy fortifications or locales? Choose Soldier. We don't know when WildStar is getting released, but one thing we do know is that it looks very, very cool.
The World of Darkness setting is fairly intriguing on its own, and that's why it is so exciting to see that it's being made into an MMO. Particularly given that the fact that it's being done by the developer of EVE Online, Crowd Control Productions, known for their incredibly non-standard MMO design tendencies. One of the most striking features of World of Darkness is going to present players with a staggering amount of freedom, and that whoever manages to become the prince of a city can mark any players they don't like for permanent death. Hey, it's World of Darkness. Were you expecting it to be forgiving?
Lineage Eternal, another epic free-to-play title from NCSoft. Lineage Eternal at first glance looks more like a top-down action RPG, a dungeon crawler such as Diablo, but that's only at first glance. While it certainly does include many of the standard dungeon crawler tropes, it also features an incredibly unique combat system. Rather than simply clicking about and pressing the buttons, it actually uses the mouse input for abilities. For example, like spinning the cursor around in circles and sweeping across the screen actually does stuff. You get the idea. They want to make the input from the mouse to actually mean something.